Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Monday, February the 9th. February the 9th already. Already February the 9th. Today is another Mindful Monday. And um, our episode today didn't really have a title. Basically, I wanted to come before you and just talk about some things that have been going on without specifically getting into the political and debate of the thing, right? So, good morning, family, and welcome back to Cup of Cocoa and Chat. I am so glad you're here. Again, today is Mindful Monday, and I want to begin by saying this. We are living in a very noisy time, a time where images move faster than truth and reactions are often louder than reflection. As we honor Black History Month, a month rooted in dignity, humanity, and legacy, we're also being reminded that not everything shared deserves a place in our spirit. Some images are harmful, some messages are unsettling. And while we can't always control what we see and hear, we can be mindful about what we carry. Today's conversation isn't about outrage or debate, it's about awareness. It's about how we protect our peace while still acknowledging reality. Because mindfulness doesn't mean ignoring harm, it means choosing not to let harm live rent free in us. I always, I often say, I often say, don't allow anyone to rent space or a room in your head, your mind, or your mind, right? So take a breath with me. Sit whatever's in your cup. And let's talk about how to stay rooted when the world feels disrespectful and loud. Now, first, Black History Month is about dignity and truth, right? I said that. But let's look into that just a tad bit more. Black history exists to remind us of humanity, contribution, resilience, and legacy. February is a short month, right? So with Black history, it tells the truth about who built, healed, created, led, and endured, often without credit or protection. So when we encounter images or messages that distort, mock, or dehumanize Black people, they clash directly with what this month stands for. The season isn't about rewriting pain. It's about restoring dignity. And dignity matters because it shapes how people see us and how we learn to see ourselves. All right? Images carry weight. Images carry weight. Images are never neutral, even when they are labeled as humor, meme, or just media. They can carry centuries of meaning. For Black people, dehumanizing imagery has a long, painful history, used to justify exclusion, violence, and silence. That's why certain visuals don't just feel offensive, they feel unsettling. They tap into collective memory. They reopen wounds, recognizing that weight isn't being sensitive, it's being honest about history. Okay? I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Let's get right into mindfulness means noticing without absorbing. Without absorbing. Mindfulness doesn't ask us to pretend we didn't see something. It invites us to notice it clearly, name how it made us feel, and then choose what we do next. We can acknowledge harm without letting it settle in our bodies or hijack our emotions for the rest of the day. Not everything we notice deserves a permanent residence in our spirits. Awareness is the pause between seeing and carrying it, and that pause is powerful. And we can see it, but not carry it with us. We can acknowledge it without letting it settle into our spirit. Because you don't owe outrage to everything. Pick your battles. Pick your battles. Sometimes the silence is classy. Chef's kiss. There's a quiet pressure in our culture to respond immediately, loudly, and emotionally to everything that's disturbing. But I'm here to tell you that choosing calm is not the same as being indifferent. You don't owe your nervous system constant activation. You don't owe social media a piece of your peace. All right? Okay? You don't owe social media or anyone else for that matter a piece of your peace. Sometimes the most self respecting response is saying, I see this, I see that, I seen that, and I choose not to spiral. I choose not to respond. I choose not to let that disturb my peace for this day or tomorrow. Huh? Protecting your spirit is an act of wisdom, especially in seasons where the noise feels intentional. Hmm. Discernment becomes essential. So when that noise feels intentional, discernment, discernment that we have, that we all have, becomes essential. Protecting your spirit isn't avoidance, it's strategy. Wisdom knows when to engage and when to step back. It understands that you can care deeply without carrying everything personally. Guarding your peace allows you to stay grounded, clear minded, and present for things and people that truly matter. Yeah. So I want you to sip on this. I can acknowledge harm without letting it live in me. I can acknowledge harm without letting it live in me. All right. So our Coco Chat question for today. You can hold it near. You can comment, send an email with your answer. So here's the question. How do you protect your peace when the world feels disre- disrespectful or unsettling? How do you protect your peace when the world feels disrespectful or unsettling? Remember the sip on this affirmation. I can acknowledge harm without letting it live in me. So I just stopped by to drop that gem because sometimes the world is noisy, disrespectful, and unsettling.